Okay, I've teased it enough. I've said major title change. Something crazy is happening. Vince McMahon has been kidnapped. Who's got him? Let's find out.
Everywhere I go, there's nowhere I belong. Can anyone just tell me where will I find? 'Cause everywhere I go, I'm always on my own. Can anyone just catch me before I drown? Can anybody make me feel like I'm not the stranger tonight?
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the L4 War, the network save between me and my good friend Stuart Irvine. We're back again on the Wednesday. Really good episode on Monday, so we're going to go again. And this is a big one. Oh, this is a big one. If you like it, if you're ready, if you're excited, let's go. Monday night Raw starts on the pre-show. Bryan Danielson getting the win over Akio. That's right, I said Bryan Danielson because we've signed him. Of course we have. 57 is a solid opening match on the pre-show from Bryan Danielson. He will be very nicely added to the Cruiserweight division. Thank you very much, Bryan Danielson.
For a quick 10-minute match against Gecko, like 57. That's pretty good. It's very good, actually.
It's very good.
If you put that on a show, would that affect it?
Not really. This is good. And Danielson has signed a little too late for the Gold Rush tournament. That will be part of the storyline as we go forward. So Bryan Danielson debuts with a win over Akio. Second pre-show match, we did tag team action. High Risk got a win over Team Attitude for 60. Good stuff again in the tag division. Paul London, 65, carrying matches now, which is good to see. Really good performance from him. Spanky off his game. Like Paul London outperforming Matt Hardy now.
Again, he's not going to be happy with that. So, not at all. But yeah, obviously it's as it said, it could be. He's hitting obviously Stu in the Goers tournament. So he's hitting peak at the right time. So
yeah,
very good.
Let's get on with the main show. I'm excited for this one. We kick off.
It's going to be crazy
with. No announcers. We pan the stadium and you can see people cheering. There's no pyro, no announcers introducing us. The ring is blacked out and then the light comes on, and in the ring are Stephanie and Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon is wearing the same suit he was wearing last week. Stephanie McMahon looks an absolute mess. Tears still dripping down her face. And they make another plea to whoever has Vince McMahon to let him go. The police are out looking, but they know that Vince has made a lot of enemies in this business. So whoever's got him will be watching right now. Let him go. Gong. Okay? Gong. And the Undertaker comes down to ringside. And this is where the first time we hear the announce team and they say, what? Surely not. And they hint and tease at what we're about to get to. The Undertaker has a habit of kidnapping people.
Yeah, kind of. Well, not kind of, he does. He's done it multiple times.
One of the persons he's kidnapped before is Stephanie McMahon, who's had a tough few weeks. She's emotionally broken, and seeing the Undertaker come into the ring, she's frozen with fear for a little bit, and then she snaps and runs away, screaming in fear and crying. And the assumption here is what we're trying to put across here is that Stephanie and potentially Shane is assuming the Undertaker has Vince McMahon. Particularly Stephanie, not necessarily Shane actually, particularly Stephanie. Because of her fear, because of her traumatization, she has flashbacks as Taker comes to the ring of the Attitude Era and being kidnapped. And she runs off in tears. But that's not going to go well for Shane, right? Shane's not happy about that. Shane says Taker should not have come out at this time. It was the wrong move. And he will speak to Randy Savage, and the Undertaker will be punished. And that's how we're going to end the segment with Taker sort of looking like, what? Fine. Taker was there to call out Brock Lesnar. Shane McMahon leaves. No Brock Lesnar tonight again, by the way. Must be very busy. I'm not sure what he's up to. So we'll pick up with this later. But the big question, who's got Vince McMahon? We don't answer it in the opening segment, that's for sure. 85. You will get an answer tonight. You will get an answer tonight. Opening match, shall we?
I'm sure just shell-shocked to this storyline.
Opening match then. Will John Cena get his Intercontinental Championship opportunity? 6-man tag time. He's teaming with the British Bruisers against Evolution. Cena wins. He gets his Intercontinental title shot. So, Cena wins, lol. Of course he does. 6-man tag for an 18. Not bad. Batista suffered a damaged neck, which I'm assuming brought it down. The worst man here is Finlay with a 58. No surprise. Cena putting in a 75 though. 66 from Regal. All of Evolution getting an 89, 88, 88. 80 seems a little low, if I'm really honest, but I'm assuming injury plus Finlay, fine. Hopefully that isn't too bad for Batista. But Cena gets the win, pinning Ric Flair with the FU. It will be John Cena versus Randy Orton for the Intercontinental Championship at the Great American Bash. Confirmed. Get in.
Right. Yeah, I mean, again, let's hope that Batista thing isn't anything to worry about.
Yeah, that is a worry. Thanks, Gerald. Briscoe, post-match for only a 67?
We'll put that down. Not
sure. Everything's good there. Limited for being short. It was a little short, to be fair, I suppose, so maybe that's why. Cena is celebrating the win. Flair's down in the ring, of course, having taken the pin. And Cena in 04 was quite disrespectful in a lot of ways. And he celebrates in a disrespectful manner over Ric Flair, and Ric Flair will not be happy when we get to it later on. Backstage, Chavo Guerrero is hyping up the title, the champion versus champion main event. Chavo versus Shawn Michaels in the main event, only for a 67 again. Rory's on a struggle tonight. What is going on?
I mean, what was it there? He's struggles to be off script.
Chavo's been hitting some great promos lately, so the fact they threw this at me this week is very annoying. But hey, ho.
Consistency, ain't it? But yes.
Yeah. It's a bit annoying, but it is what it is. He says, listen, the best champion on this brand will be decided tonight. And that champion is the connoisseur of the Cruiserweight division, Chavo. Because remember, he doesn't want to be called Guerrero. We should change his name, really. 67. Okay, cool.
Just don't change it to that name.
Kerwin White.
I'm not saying you would, but I got to be honest. When you say name changes, it's like a traumatized flashbacks. Like,
don't do it.
I do like the connoisseur. The connoisseur?
Connoisseur of the Cruiserweight division. Let's see if that sticks, shall we?
Sounds so sophisticated. I love that. That's a really good. That's very good.
Okay. Also backstage, Garrison Cade and Eric Bischoff introduce a man who's had a very tough week. We say man, he may not be a man anymore, we're not sure. Mark Jindrak wheels himself in a wheelchair with a broken pelvis.
I mean, we discussed this before, is that when you go all in, you go all in.
He has an ice pack over his tender area, let's say. Cade, Jindrak and Bischoff promise AJ Styles and Booker T and that whore Stacey. Bischoff will stay.
Oh, I mean, that's just... I mean, for that alone, they deserve to get taken out.
Yeah, they vow revenge. 65.
Why have I got this feeling?
The fact that he's got a 65 as well, by the way.
I mean, it's pretty vague, but like, why have I've got a feeling if they were doing it, they would act it like so over the top with like Eric Bischoff going like comedy cartoon kind of villain, kind of like you will pay for this, but in such a cartoonish way. I could just see it.
Yeah, I mean, and then Jindrak gets himself a bit too worked up, saying he'll pay, but then hurts himself because he's too worked up, and he has to leave. Okay, cool. Randy Savage's office we go to because Savage has an announcement tonight. He's spoken to Shane McMahon, and out of respect for Shane McMahon and what's currently happening, he's made a match. The Undertaker will be in action against Test, A-Train, The Big Show, and Jamie Noble in a 4-on-1 handicap match.
I mean, all you can say to that's a bit harsh, Randy.
It is a bit harsh, but obviously this has come from Shane, remember?
To the boss of the boss.
Kind of. Shane shouldn't have power, because when Randy Savage came in, the McMahons relinquished that power over Raw, right? As the GM, Randy Savage has the power. However, Shane can still pull some strings, and that's the idea here. Pull some strings. So that's what will happen later in the night. Gold Rush tournament time. Tajiri versus Scotty 2 Hottie. Who's going on to face Paul London in the semi-final? It is Tajiri for 54. It's better than it should be, actually. Scotty 2 Hottie 42. Tajiri 51.
I mean, all I say to that again, game, Chancellor. Is that Chancellor?
Tarantula, yeah.
Yeah, not a finish, but okay.
Yeah, it can't be a finish because it's in the ropes, but hey-ho. 54, yeah, it's fine. Tajiri set himself up for that match with Paul London. You have to kind of, when you do a tournament, particularly with a lower mid-card tournament, some matches will be, they're just there. This is one of those, setting up the bigger match against Paul London in the semi-final.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's fine. I mean, to be fair, it's like, again, it's like, because we have high expectations for, and you have high levels of expectations. Like, when you get a 54, it's like, oh, that's all. But for the Cruiserweight, it's really good. I mean, for the scores they got, to get a 54 out of them is very good. So I wouldn't be disappointed with that, personally.
It is what it is, right? Backstage, the Filthy Animals cut a promo on the Tag Team Champions, the Knockout Artists, for a 65. They say after last week, do you think they're done? They are coming back fighting and fighting harder than ever. Rey Mysterio and Billy Kidman want the Tag Team Championships. 65, good stuff. Both men did well off script as well for once, which is nice. Backstage, a nervous, angry, and emotional Shane McMahon is approached by a delivery driver. I'm not going to press next yet. He's approached by a delivery driver, and the delivery driver gives him a package, and inside that package is a videotape. It's 2004, remember? DVDs are just about a thing at this point.
Yes, tapes.
So
that's how we used to watch things back in the day.
Oh, and just like look at that, in Shane McMahon's room there is a video tape machine. Oh, look, he can watch the video. You get
what a coincidence.
Shane puts the tape in, and on the screen comes Vincent Kennedy McMahon, tied up, holding up a newspaper to show it that it is today's date, in a background which is just a bed sheet just hung up behind him, because you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah.
And then Vince says, I'm told I have to pass on a message from the people who have taken me, that a message to you, Shane. They say I will be let go if you do as they say tonight. Tonight, somebody will come to you with a request, and you need to do as they say. I'm going to press next. 82. Yeah, we're getting somewhere with it. 82. Oh God, I've set that up big time. Let's see what happens, shall we? Let's see what happens.
I just don't know what to say to it. We're so invested. I'm just really shocked by it. It's like it's just you just want to move on, because it's like you don't. What more? This is mate.
You just
I'm
want
intrigued.
to know now, right?
We really do. So
right, 82, 4-on-1 handicap match. Then gets 77 for a 4-on-1 handicap match. The Big Show 91, Taker 97. I know Jamie Noble put in a 56, but a 77.
You know what makes it,
come on.
You know what makes it worse? Undertaker's off his game. I mean, that's not even fun. That's not even. It's one of those things we just like. If that's him off his game, that means he's getting 97's off his game. It's just what the hell.
Undertaker's a joke. He is a joke. The Knockout Artist and TNA defeat the Undertaker because it's 4-on-1. Okay, please.
You can't be. Let's be fair with if he did win, he'd
I
be
can't
basically.
bury the tag division. Just
And the
like
tag
that. No.
was it? It's two tag champions in there, right?
Yeah, tag champs and a contender. Absolutely not. Test gets the win with a big boot, the deadly big boot. Post-match, the four heels celebrate. And then the titles get between them. So Test and A-Train send a message to the tag team champions. A big boot to the Big Show, knocking him out of the ring. And then they pick up Jamie Noble. A-Train hits the powerbomb over the top rope onto the Big Show. They've laid out the tag champs. TNA, after defeat The Undertaker as well, they're coming for the gold. 71, good stuff.
Oh, well. Like, they asked for what you wanted for that. That's very good.
That's good. Shawn Michaels cuts a promo on Chavo Guerrero for an 82. Everything tonight has been quite low. I don't know why. Like,
I think I might be. It could be a situation of where it is. Like, I don't know if it's like, you know, like certain places get. Maybe it's like where you're stationed this week. Where the station this week is.
we're in Oklahoma.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
It doesn't make a lot of sense, but we've got to move on. We'll take with it. Sean said he's looking forward tonight to one thing and one thing only: a Guerrero challenge. That's what he's going to say. Is it a tease that Sean one day wants to wrestle Eddie Guerrero? Maybe it is, but it's also a dig at Chavo, who what he wants is a man living up to the Guerrero name. That's what he wants from Chavo.
he wants to face a Guerrero.
Yeah.
Not this. Yeah, I like that. But yeah, I mean, again, maybe it's just one of those. You know, it's like these shows. Sometimes it just doesn't. It's just one of those things, isn't it? But
yeah, it's odd. Backstage, Ric Flair has requested some time to cut a promo because he's cutting a promo on John Cena for a 90. Better. Don't know why it got so badly earlier, but hey ho. Flair says he will not stand for the disrespect. Does John Cena know who he is? He is the wheeling deal. I can't remember what it is. Wheeling dealing, crowd pleasing, woman stealing.
something son of a gun. I think.
Something son of a gun, and a 17-time world champion.
I mean, if you're not doing a situation where he's chucking his jacket on the floor and trying to elbow drop it,
for sure,
I mean,
for sure. Ric Flair says, "I have done everything there is to do in this business," and what's John Cena done? Absolutely nothing. John Cena is a nobody. John Cena is a name that in 10 years' time no one will even remember. Randy Orton will make sure of that at the Great American Bash. But next week I need to fight for my respect. So John Cena, I'm putting the challenge out right now. Ric Flair, John Cena, submission match next week on Raw.
all I say to that is if Ric Flair gets that in the match against John Cena, that's going to be a very good score and very interesting match. But
It will
yeah,
be interesting. Of course, look, we know Cena's going to accept it because, of course, he will. It's John Cena. So we're going to do Ric Flair and Cena in the main event next week. Should be fun. Should be fun. Backstage, TNA cut a promo on the Knockout Artist for a 73, and they discuss. I think I've missed another segment here. We'll see in a second. They discuss the tag team champions, and they say, look, what we did earlier was a message. We want our shot. We're just explaining it in promo terms, getting a bit of promo time. So 73 is absolutely fine. I'm going to go to the next segment. It's maybe the main event match, or it may be the segment that I was meant to put in. We'll see. It's the main event match for an 89. Very good main event. So
no surprise there. When you think about it, because again, was it Chavo? 75, 94? Yeah. I mean, Shawn Michaels is Shawn Michaels. So you're going to, against a very underrated Chavo Guerrero, going to get a great match, and you did. So, yeah. And I think the time helps as well.
Yeah, very good main event. They got time. Sweet Chin Music does the business. Shawn Michaels beats a Guerrero. Look, the world champion beats a cruiserweight champion every day of the week. But Chavo, he is representing the cruiserweight division. He takes Shawn Michaels to the limit. I think it helps everyone.
Yeah.
But there's a reason it's the main event. Post-match then, Shawn Michaels hits switching music, 1, 2, 3, has his hands raised, and then he turns into a clothesline from hell. Lays out Shawn Michaels straight away. Okay?
Yep.
JBL turns to the ring area, to the aisle area, and does the come on gesture with his hand. calling someone out. Brock, right? He's calling out Brock to beat down Shawn, right? No, because out comes Shane McMahon with a referee. And nobody quite understands what's happening at this point. The referee the referee gets in the ring. Shane McMahon's on the outside. JBL and Shawn Michaels are still in the ring. The referee picks up the WWE Championship and holds it above his head. And people are like, what the hell's going on? Shane McMahon nods to the referee, and the referee rings the bell.
So we do a championship match. Okay.
At that point, JBL hits a second clothesline from hell and pins Shawn Michaels for the 1, 2, 3. Nobody knows what's going on here. Everyone's really confused. And music doesn't even hit because it's like, what? This isn't planned. What's going on? And then everyone realizes from the call of Lillian Garcia, your winner and new WWE champion, John Bradshaw Layfield. Shane McMahon was told earlier tonight that somebody will come to him with a request, and if he does it, Vince McMahon will be let go.
I mean,
Shane McMahon has authorized this WWE Championship match. JBL has won the WWE Championship to end the show. Nobody knows what the hell's happened. People can put 2 and 2 together, though. And I think you'd agree you would get JBL kidnapped Vince McMahon.
well, as you said, all the evidence points to it, doesn't it?
Kind of does, but I mean, we can't prove it, but it looks like it. And where's Brock, remember? Could he be... Oh, someone's got to watch Vince, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's... All I'm saying is like
It's bonkers.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I give him credit for it in a sense that it wouldn't be a thing I would do. Because I don't know if I don't think after doing a title change like that on a Raw wouldn't be a thing I would do. But
JBL has been told he's not going to get a rematch, so he's found a way. Right? He's found a way. The scumbag has taken the king of professional wrestling and embarrassed him by kidnapping him, is what we're trying to say. This is the story. He's betrayed the WWE. He's betrayed the fans. He's betrayed every wrestler in that locker room by doing something that no one should ever do. He's crossed the line to get the gold. So he's stolen that championship. That championship shouldn't be his. Is the idea of what we got to go with.
I mean, totally get the story. For me, it's a situation of I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do a title change like that. But it's a very intriguing story. I mean, it's like you've gone completely. You know what? Screw it. Let's go and try something completely outside the box.
I tell you what, it'd be a major moment. It would be a major moment. So JBL wins the title as we go off screen. But what I'm going to say now, and this is something we'll pick up next week, and I mentioned it earlier, Shane McMahon relinquished authority when Randy Savage came in to be general manager. Shane McMahon made this WWE World title match. See you next week on that one, right?
Yeah, ponder. I like it.
Right, let's see what Raw gets. It's not been a good Raw, actually, despite the major storyline.
It'll probably get like an 89 or like a 90.
I think it's been 86-ish, to be honest. But we'll find out. Raw gets an 89. That's much higher than I would think, but I will take it by all means. Good main event, of course, helps. But
I mean, yeah, I mean, I think it's a solid show. I mean, I think like a lot of stuff you expect to do a little bit better. But I mean, the main event, I think you got a solid main event, a very intriguing storyline going for the whole show. That if you were watching it, would be like you would want to watch the end to find out who did it.
Yeah, and we will pick up with it next week. JBL is your WWE champion. Vince McMahon, I can confirm for anyone worrying, will be returned home.
So that's good. That's the good news we need to hear.
We will pick up with Vince
bonkers.
McMahon down the line. You would imagine he's not happy about being kidnapped, but we'll see down the line on that one. Yeah,
We'll find out.
Oh, I'm a lunatic. Right. 89, let's see what SmackDown can do. Okay, then. He is starting SmackDown on the pre-show with someone he's just called looks like a babyface, so let's just make him a babyface on the pre-show for a match, basically. Johnny Stamboli took on Doug Basham, but Johnny Stamboli lost. Oh, dear.
No, I mean, it's fine. I mean, to be fair, I think it's just from very early on, I did have a little bit planned for Stamboli, so but it's just like with the way the game went, and just kind of lost in the shuffle in a way. So,
are you gonna make Stamboli a party boy?
Hell no. Why would I do that? I mean, I get it what you mean, because he looks like he's the way he looks, he's happy.
A Chippendale dancer.
No, I think the best thing I feel like the best story for him will be that guy loving life. I know he's not going to be a party person, but like someone that's.
I see. So
I mean,
Happy Corbin,
but better, way better. I will book him great. I mean, but yeah, I mean,
40 is not bad though.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you've got 40, 43, it's one about level you expect. Especially one's a tag wrestler, so but yeah, it's good. So
second pre-show match, 6-woman tag match for a 54. Tori Wilson carrying it with a 60, 52 Victoria, 48 Gail Kim, 14 below for the heels, but they are the jobber heels, so it's about right.
So an idiot. So it was Jack Lee, it's true. Sad truth. But yeah. I mean, again, Gail Kim's kind of we're trying to kind of build her up, aren't we, after her face turn. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I always think Tori Wilson is like get a good rating, but like in ring, yeah, it's a weird one. That I always felt the scoring's a bit weird in this one, but yeah, but
take it
if you put that on the show, it'd be great. Yeah, that would be okay.
It would work. It would work. We open the show though with a man who seemingly has agreed a championship opportunity for himself. You think you know him. I think I know him. We all think we know him. Edge opens the show for a 76 rated segment. It's not bad.
Not surprising. It's fine. When you got Hardcore Holly in an office to Hardcore Holly, it's going to bring
all
it down.
All the offense to Hardcore Holly. It does.
Again, as we said before, we never said it to his face because he would.
I could take him. It's fine.
You could. I don't think I could. I will try to back you up, mate, but my weapon is words, not by fighting. So I might be able to talk my way out of it, but I won't be able to fight my way out of it. It wouldn't work.
Stuart looks into the ring and just pulls out a dictionary.
I am the Damien Sandow of this situation.
Right. Yeah. Moving on.
Yeah. Kind of. Oh God. Let's get composed about this. Let's get composed. Anyway, so yeah, we start with Edge. Talking about how much it meant to him for the support. Like it's kind of he's having his kind of moment where he's like finally get a chance to tell the fans how much it meant to him for all the support and all the love he's been getting. Obviously after his return, because obviously with the game, he's come back and got an amazing score just by one feud. Yeah. So if you go by that, we'll say the fans love him, right? Right. So and then let's put like a nice little touching mark where we say with Eddie, what was it? Stuff with saying of one person that helped me the most was someone like Eddie Guerrero at the back or something. Just to kind of put across to Eddie's as well as a champion in the ring. He's a class act outside the ring, type backstage and stuff. Just because it makes Edge Eddie Guerrero. It just it explains why there's more respect than just they're both good wrestlers. There's more of a personal level. That kind of stuff, and and he helped him out. But one thing he's warning Eddie Guerrero is. Yeah, I respect him. I respect what he did. But when I have that title match, when I'm in that ring for the title match, I would do anything, and I mean anything, to win that title. So, but yeah, so it's kind of setting up that we respect him, but again, what he wants to, his dream is to win the world title. So I don't know if that sets up anything. I don't know. May do, may not. We don't know. But then obviously after that, there's probably a lot of boos because Hardcore Holly came out. Because it's Hardcore Holly. Comes out kind of sitting there saying, you're talking about respect. There's no such thing as respect in this industry. It's all about being the best and pushing anyone out of your way to get to the top. So don't kid a kidder. You're playing mind games with Eddie Guerrero, that kind of stuff. I think I need to beat the hell out of you, and also for what you did for my part in it last week. I think I need to beat the hell out of you. So it sets up obviously again. The next match,
opening contest. Edge and Hardcore Holly get an 82.
Very good, very good. I'm happy with that. Just because again, Edge is getting 87, 56, but very good. I'm liking that. There's nothing really more to talk about this one. I didn't put any crazy finish in this. It's a simple standard match. Ed wins with the spear, pretty much.
Job done. Edge wins with the spear post match. Well, let's return the favour.
Yep, for that again, 86. If Eddie was in the promo the first, that's probably what it would have got. But 86, very good there. It's promising. It gives me a feeling that when they finally do meet in the ring, it's got potential to be a very high score and a very good match. So, but yeah, it's simple. Again, it's simple. Last week, I think was Edge helped Eddie Guerrero. This week helps returns to favour. Obviously, Ryan score 5 knocks, beating down on Edge, and then Eddie Guerrero comes down for the save, and help each other up, and it's pretty much what it is. It's more of a they're both helping each other out. But it's going to be interesting what happens when they finally face off for that world title. So
it will be very, very interesting. Backstage, Mark Henry and Scott Steiner cut a promo on Rikishi for a 71.
Yeah, well, we know why that got a 71 because it's got the amazing Scott Steiner in there. So it made perfect sense to me anyway. I hate it. I know you do. But, so basically backstage, also talk about Mark Henry. He's absolutely still fuming on what happened to him last week with Rikishi and what Kishi's been in his business for far too long. And it's kind of basically simple as that. He's furious. He's charged. He's basically sitting there saying, I want to face you tonight. Scott wants to take you out as well. So we're going to team against you. And you've got to find a partner. I don't care who you get. Because it doesn't matter who fits, because I'm going to start a new hall of pain, and you're the first victim of that hall of pain. So Mark Henry's basically he's furious. So see what happens with that. Would that lead to something? We'll find out later on.
We'll find out later on if Rikishi can get a partner. Lita cuts a promo on Jacqueline for 56. Both. Jacqueline was meant to be off screen, but Lita struggled off script.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's good. It's a good thing to know. So maybe next time we'll try and script them, maybe. But again, it's a learning curve. But yeah, it's fine. With this, I kind of Lita's talking about Jacqueline's actions the last couple of weeks, tagging from behind, all that kind of stuff, attacking Lita from behind, all that kind of stuff, and then kind of Lita's gone. You do realise who I am, right? Like, you don't attack me from behind. If you want to face me, just ask. Because so what you've kind of unleashed a Lita that is more focused and more meaner. A Lita you haven't seen before. And Jacqueline should watch her back and watch out, because she's got one hell of a fight tonight against this more focused Lita. Because Lita hasn't gone for Lita hasn't exactly. She's kind of been on the wayside a little bit.
Yeah, so haven't used her as much as you would think at this point, have you?
But there's a point to it. Yeah. I think that's why. That's the point. I've got a plan.
Got a plan. The man with a plan. Let's see what the match does there. Lita and Jacqueline 1-on-1 for 63. Good.
Very good. Especially again, Lita 53. Yeah, happy with that again. But as it goes, just double checking it's done. The game's done exactly what it wants to do. But yeah, I like the others. It's a good match. But I like the others. Like Lita's more intense in this because she's really furious with Jacqueline. But the match ends with Jacqueline fighting with a roll up and using the ropes for leverage for the win. So yeah, I mean it's just foreign object here. But again, I made me think that I've turned her heel, and I don't want to use the trope of she turns heel but Stu loses. So we need to. I like heel terms that make sense, and if they're losing when they're when they turn heel, they have to win. So yeah, that's what my method here. So hopefully sets up something interesting next couple of weeks. So yeah.
Okay, well, let's have a look. This should be an interesting segment. Eddie Guerrero cutting a promo on Edge when he's interrupted by someone who is, well, straight Edge.
82. Really happy with that. I mean, when you think of where CM Punk has been, was it been in the cup? Was it been
in the company, what, 2 months?
I mean, I have to admit, I could be pushing him a bit too fast, but it's kind of a bit. Some of the scores, it is justifying that a little bit. So, but yeah, so obviously, Gadio talking about facing Edge in 2 weeks. Talking about he's going to get the best Eddie Guerrero that anyone's ever seen. And if he wants to take his title away from him, he has to be his very best. You know, another simple promo of saying, yeah, but it's going to be they both go up their game, each other when they face each other. So, but then obviously got CM Punk. Turns out obviously got Paul Heyman there as well, saying like kind of we would say we're kind of Paul Heyman kind of going, you're good. You have that title. You're the pinnacle of this industry. But I'm kind of nicking what Paul Heyman kind of was doing at the time when he won the world title, saying, but as champion, you should be a role model. You should be the person that people look up to.
Right.
Obviously, we do look up to Eddie Guerrero, but obviously Paul Heyman, he's a dick at this point, isn't he? And kind of sitting there saying, we need a role model. We need a straight edge role model. Kind of like, we don't need. I always felt comfortable saying it, but he's a heel, so he would say it, saying we don't need an addict like yourself, because again, exactly what the storyline was anyway. Obviously, and when Eddie said that, when Paul Heyman said that, Eddie's like you would be when he's like some calling addict. That's past him. That's in his past. He gets pissed and he says, "Oh, okay, I know what you're trying to do here. You're trying to goat me into a possible match against you. You want to face me, don't you? All you had to do was ask. So you want to start talking about my past? Okay, but there's consequences to that. And what about this time next week? Well, next week, I've CM Punk versus Eddie Guerrero, and obviously Punk's like smiling, going, "It worked. He's antagonized him enough to get a match against him." So yeah, I'm doing it.
Punk Guerrero next week. Oh god, brilliant. Rikishi is asked about who his partner's got to be for a 62. Again, we'll go talk to it when it happens. But yeah, I just nothing really here. Rikishi just saying, everyone's like, so who's your partner? And he's like, well, just have to wait and see. Like, you just have to find out. So the partner was supposed to be Grandmaster Sexay. We couldn't quite make it work in game, so we're gonna change on the fly a little bit, and instead it's Rikishi teaming with Val Venus against Scott Steiner and Mark Henry for a 57.
That's fine. Absolutely. I wasn't expecting. You expect to run about that level, wouldn't it? Would it be about that 60-ish?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, just talk about what I originally planned and then how we were kind of on the fly. But basically, it was supposed to be, of course, Grandmaster Sexy. They do all kinds. They do the old two cool moves, you know, like a bit of nostalgia, as you would. And it ends with Grandmaster Sexy hitting that. Was it leg drop? It would have been leg drop from the top.
Yeah.
And then on Scott Steiner to get a win. But yeah, I mean, I think for here, I like the idea. It's just like the heels take out Rikishi and kind of take him out like on the outside, maybe throw him into the steel steps on the outside or something like that.
Yeah,
and obviously Val.
They isolate the weak link.
Yeah, and then it's just basically a 2-on-1, and then obviously we did put Mark Henry, and then we just hits the world's strongest slam on Val Venus to get the win. But I mean, I just get Mark Henry's looking good. Good numbers. Very happy with that.
Very good. Okay, post match though, and this is why this result worked. The heels, they've taken out Val. Time to take out Rikishi too for a 71.
Yeah, I mean, the way I was kind of segment I was trying to do here is obviously again point out what was supposed to be is that he took out. Obviously the face was supposed to win at first, but what I was going to do is situation. Obviously they attack Grandmaster Sexy, but I like the idea of they handcuff Rikishi to the rope.
Okay.
So he can't do. So it's like he can't get out. So he has to watch while they hit. Not what Mark Henry hitting 2 world stronger slams and then hitting 1/3 on the steel chair.
So they take out Val Venus here.
Yeah, so it's just same segment, just different guy. But I mean, it's but yeah, I just think obviously we've set up that basically Mark Henry is furious at this point. So why not do something really unhinged? Like he hits world 1 strongest slam 2 and then he hits 1/3 on the chair. I mean, you can always put across that basically he's broken, literally he's destroyed, shattered Val Venus is back. He's done. Like he's that shot with the chair has done it type thing.
Yeah.
And obviously, it sets up that now this has gone from being Rikishi's had the upper hand to now Mark Henry's back in control of this feud. So interesting to see what Rikishi does with that. But yeah, I think it's 71. Interesting.
Good. Christian backstage talking to Triple H for an 89, and in walks Lance Storm.
Yeah, I mean, this one is kind of it's kind of a situation, obviously, because Triple H didn't get the job done last week. They had a plan, they had an agreement. So Christian kind of calls him out on it, type situation. But obviously, Christian's like, well, you didn't do the job, but I am a man of my word. That's obviously rubbish because he isn't, but heels lie. But as we all know,
That's lie.
yes, it's the first rule of heel. They never tell the truth. But yeah, and obviously he's sitting there going, well, I will beat Lance Storm tonight. And obviously Triple H is saying, no, I didn't win last week, but if it wasn't for your botched interference, and then it's like there's a bit of tension going on, that kind of stuff. But but it's kind of implied that Triple H has like this. The deal is still on the table. He still has a plan. He still wants to take out Chris Jericho. It's just last week didn't work, but it will possibly happen soon. But then the kind of Lance Storm comes in, kind of, he sees. I think it's just a situation of he's confronting Christian and just sitting there saying, you want to take me out? Well, you got the opportunity tonight, and I'm going to prove why I'm probably one of the best pro wrestler out there type situation. I just like the idea that Lance Storm has got this. He's got such confidence right now because he's got some big wins, as you would be if you beat He's beat Jericho. He's beat Triple H, and he's obviously got the win against. So he's I would be confident too. I would be.
You should be very confident, to be fair, if you are Lance Storm right now. Let's see how he gets on the main event later. Before that, Trish has an announcement for a 74.
Yep. Oh, very nice. It's just a kind of simple one here because obviously I think Trish got an injury, got taken out, so she's been out for over 2 weeks. And I like the idea that she'll be watching the women's division and being very bitterly disappointed at what she sees, and kind of saying that obviously next week, as the champion, it's a responsibility to lead by example, and it's kind of setting up. It's kind of a rip-off of what Chris Jericho did with the Inner Circle, with a lot of those, meetings or boardrooms or all them kind of variants on that. I call it. So Trish says there's going to be a state of the women's division address next week. To kind of, she needs to. So Trish Stratus is basically going to be like a champion going, no, this can't slide. I need to sort this out and take responsibility as champion. I can see Trish doing in the game.
Makes sense. Van Dam cuts a promo on the Extreme Alliance for 70.
Very good. Scrolling off script, that's fine. But yeah, I mean, this one is RVD kind of in dress like, the numbers game is starting to get you. What are you going to do to counteract this? Then obviously RVD said, I've just got off the phone and called a good friend for backup, and he's on his way right now. So what could that set up? We don't know. So he's got backup. Carl knows what's happening. But yeah, I think people like it. That's what I'm saying.
Let's see what the match does. Van Dam and Charlie Haas for an 83.
Very good. Obviously, Van Dam is killing it in the last couple of weeks, isn't he? He's hitting his stride as US champion, 89 there. But yeah, I mean, again, this is nothing really crazy. I like the idea that basically that they're all trying to get into the ring, but obviously Van Dam finds a way to fight them off in a way. Obviously, because and hits a frog splash and gets the win in that sense. But yeah, it's supposed to be a situation as like when they'll be at ringside, they're trying to distract him enough, but he just about finds a way to win the match.
Yeah,
but obviously
post match 3-on-1, right? So
yeah, but I mean, obviously 3-on-1 beat down. I don't know how that I got to tease this right. I've got to do this right. Got to do it right. But yes, obviously 3-on-1 beat down. Obviously, no one's going to save him, and then glass smashes. And yes, you're right. I'm going to do it. 74. That's fine.
That's a lot lower than I thought it'd be.
It's fine. I mean, probably because of who's involved in it. Because obviously a lot of CM Punk and obviously the levels. But I've done it. I've done something a bit crazy, a little bit crazy. Stone Cold Steve Austin comes down to the ring. If only I've had JR If only I had JR.
Yeah, Michael Cole going, vintage Stone Cold.
No, no. If it just had JR going, Stone Cold, it's Stone Cold. Like, obviously the crowd would go nuts. Comes to the ring, but as you expect, beats. Let's do a situation like they go down. He's won again. He's coming down the ramp, beats them, punches them, kicks them, and then comes in the ring, hits stunners on everyone. Yeah, and then kind of ends the crowd. Obviously, he's now shakes the hand of RVD, helps him up, and obviously, that's I'm doing it. I'm putting Stone Cold Steve Austin with RVD. That
Full time?
For a little while, yeah. I don't think I want to do. Obviously, it depends on what Austin's availability is and how he works on the game, but I want to keep it for a little while because I think it's got a story that could work because obviously you still forget the Alliance connection with he saw Seinkin Van Dam.
Right, yeah.
I know you're thinking like, why you bring up that terrible story? But
Yeah, it's cool.
when you think about it, he did see Seinkin Van Dam. And also, you forget, we set up something. I think it was at WrestleMania.
We did, I think, yeah.
So it's kind of a payoff on that as well. So, yeah, it kind of... Yeah, but I think that Stone Cold and Van Dam by themselves, that'll get better scores, I think.
So Stone Cold's big return, hitting stunners. Not the main event, because we're going to do Lance Storm versus Christian. Storm cuts a promo for an 85.
Oh.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know what to say.
I think it's just Triple H is technically involved in this.
Yeah, I know. You would hope in the theory, like if Lance Storm ever gets an 85 by himself, I think I should win an award for something because from where Lance Storm was and kind of I have tried to really push him. Hopefully it pays off in the end. But I just like the idea that you talk about Lance Storm, talking about Triple H. He's obviously must be scared of Lance Storm because obviously he's because obviously he's doing backroom deals. He's trying to take him out, get interviewing in his matches. He must be obviously scared of Lance Storm, or at least worried about finally Lance Storm living up to his potential. And now living up to potential that he knew he had, but also that the crowd knew he had. And he's sitting about Christian. Obviously, you don't imagine it, but Christian talking. He's been talking a lot about his crap. I said smack, but I don't know if the idea of hearing Lance Storm saying that doesn't feel right. I gotta be honest. But he's talking a lot of trash talk, all that kind of stuff. Last couple of weeks. So I've got a super kick with your name on it, and then I'm gonna face Triple H, and then if you want to get involved, because I know you will. You're welcome to try. So again, a very confident.
Confident Lance Storm. Let's see how the main event goes. Lance Storm versus Christian gets an 82.
That is.
It's about what you'd expect.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting like high levels. I was 82. I'm happy with that. I mean, obviously, it's probably going to affect the score in the end, but that's fine because I was kind of expecting it anyway. But I've kind of put here that, but it's great match, that kind of stuff. But obviously, as we kind of set up a parallels here. Triple H tries to get in the ring, tries to hit Lance Storm with a sledgehammer, but then hits Christian accidentally, and then he walks into a super kick. But Lance Storm hits a super kick on Christian to get a win. And obviously, but the end segment, Triple H is gonna get his revenge for an 80. That's fine. I think this is one of those shows. It's gonna be
It must be the area because I had a very similar show in the same area.
Yeah, I think if this gets, I'll be surprised if it gets an 85 or an 80. It's going to be at the mid 80, I think. So I don't think I've had like a standout segment, but it's fine. But at the end of it, you've got Triple H just come and hits Lance Storm with a sledgehammer, then hits the pedigree. Obviously, Chris Jericho's not having this because obviously what happened, comes in, goes to the save, and then Triple H comes out of the wing, which, gets out of there, and then kind of Triple H goes to Chris Jericho. Your time will come. So whatever, we don't know what that means. So it kind of ends it on that kind of not as shocking as what happened in your show, but I think it's a good show.
Good ending. Good show. Let's see what he gets. 89 to beat, or Raw gets a 2-0 lead. He gets
85.
Sure. So Raw does get a 2-0 lead. We both had a little bit off weeks, if we're honest, despite the major storyline stuff that both of us are doing, Stone Cold, for example. But It's not hit how we envisioned it would, I think.
No, I mean, obviously, I think again, it's as I said, last couple of months, like a month or so, like I've been trying to build some stuff up, and kind of main events. Like again, Lance Storm vs Christian, would it be a main event? Probably not, but I wanted to try it out, see. And for an 82, that's still good. I mean, it's obviously maybe a couple of months, but build it up right. That could be like an 89 or 80 match, maybe, or no, like a high 80. But yeah, I mean, obviously, you think Stone Cold coming back, it's like a low score. But yeah, I think it's just because who involved.
Yeah, I know what you mean, though.
If that was RVD and Stone Cold, that'd be like high 80s. But as you said, the best, I think, the best angle was probably the 89 with the 89 with Triple H and Christian Lance Storm.
Yeah.
So not a lot of high levels this week. So, but again, 85. I mean, I'm happy with it. I mean, yeah, you got a 2-0 lead, but I think for the storyline, I'm pretty happy where it's going. So, and to be fair. Yeah, he put on a pretty amazing show, so it's not surprising. So, yeah, 85, I'm happy with that.
Okay, I did say it was a big week. JBL has stolen the WWE Championship. We will pick up on that next week. It's really good Smackdown too. Just not quite at the same level. Main event in a way, let it down in a lot of ways. But yeah, it's a good Raw month so far. But give Stuart credit, he's doing well. If you want to go see more of his stuff, there will be a link in the description, if I can remember to do it, to his channel, where he's currently got a modern day WWE 2022 save going on, picking up from day one and going forward. So yeah, do enjoy that one. We'll be back on Friday. AEW, and it is, I think, let me check what I've got written down here. What have I got for Friday? Just the small matter of just the small matter of Bryan Danielson versus Sting. Enjoy. Until next time. Peace.